Freaking LaBuBus.
LaBuBu.
Oh my God. I've seen that they're finally like, even though they seem to be going up and up and up, now that they're getting more popular, we're going to start seeing a decline.
You know, I feel like we are on the decline of the LaBuBu because people are getting annoyed with them.
They're so fucking dumb.
Welcome to GlowJob, the beauty podcast that's more than skin deep. We're the only podcast to make you hotter and smarter.
Freaking LaBuBus.
LaBuBu.
I mean, they literally like, you've seen them, you've touched them.
Yeah.
I think that there's just so many. There was like the Sonny angel craze, and then the LaBuBu, and then the weird ones with the crying face. Like, you know,
Which one was the crying face?
They're called cry babies.
Oh, I don't know.
They're hideous.
Okay.
They look like giant, they're like little faces with giant cheeks that are crying with like, that's just what they are. But like in the realm of collectibles, it's those Squishmallows, jelly cats.
Oh, jelly cats. Yeah. I mean, I had a jelly cat as a kid.
Are they that old?
I think they are. But like I see kids nowadays who are like really into them. Wait, did you see that thing where like the guy robbed a toy store and stole like $20,000 worth of jelly cats in London?
What the hell?
It was so stupid.
I know that in Europe, I think it's either London or Paris, they had this jelly cat store. Maybe it's the same one, but it's like a bakery where you get all of these baked good themed jelly cats. And when you walk in, it looks like a bakery. And these grown adults selling jelly cats to people will literally pretend to ice a cake jelly cat and then put it in a box and box it up like a pastry and deliver it and like hand deliver it to you.
You know what this reminds me of? Have you ever, you know that plastic surgery office called, I think it's like Epi One, the one at Beverly Hills that like they tout that they've done like the Kardashians and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay. So I was talking to a friend who actually went for a consult there. Do you know why people go to, besides that it's like famous, why they do the consultation?
Tell me.
Okay. So when you go for the consultation, they take a photo of you to do like kind of like, okay, this is like what kind of procedures we could do on your face, right? But when you're in the waiting room, or I guess like you're in the actual like physician's room waiting to do the consultation.
You get a LaBuBu.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? Maybe they've updated it. But what they do is like, they'll ask you, would you like a coffee? And my friend was like, no, I'm fine. I don't need coffee. And she was like, no. You want the coffee. And he's like, oh, okay, I guess I want the coffee. And then the woman comes into the room and brings like a latte. And the latte foam is your face. It's like a picture of you in the latte.
That is so extra and I love it.
And that's why people do the consult, is to get like that whole experience with the latte of your face.
Okay.
Social media stuff, you know, good content.
Okay. I mean, it's definitely good content. But why is a plastic surgeon's office doing face lattes?
Because it's a good hook.
It's a great hook. God, what hook should we start doing?
Bro job.
Yeah, there we go.
We'll bring in a bro every third week of the month, do a breakdown of their skincare routine, and then also do really fun things like tool time and hit it or quit it. I mean, it's just so fun to see a guy squirm and not know jack shit about beauty.
Honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
Like because you know, so many guys are so confident. They think they know everything. You ask them what a beauty blender is and they freaking crumble. It's crazy.
Yeah. Why does everything to them look like a vibrator or like, I don't know, what, the vagina egg? Like, I don't get it.
I think that's all they think, you know, like girls are all just like all pink, all lip gloss and just vaginas. But, you know, I think that's kind of what they think we are. So, yeah.
I mean, it's not that far from the truth.
No, it's what I think about all the time.
Lip gloss and vaginas. Okay, so Jules, we just were at this, I guess it was kind of like, I was going to say an influencer event, but no, it was a beauty launch. And dude, I don't think my brain has ever felt so melty in my life.
I honestly felt like we were in a dream, right? Where, you know, it was like in this dream, we're at this gorgeous, gorgeous mansion in Beverly Hills, surrounded by all of these gorgeous women, but there's no one to talk to.
But it's not even like, it's like, they're gorgeous, but there's no one home inside the brain.
So I have a theory as to why the vibes kind of seemed off. Okay. So, I mean, we had each other at this event. And I feel like it took our social anxiety down. Not that we really have any, but it took it down quite a bit, that we have like a friend that we can chit chat with. I feel like, for a lot of people that have social anxiety, it's high, right? They feel a little nervous going to these events where there's all these like, influencers with more followers than them that have like better, perkier tits than them or whatever, right? They get a little nervous. So they take a LexaPro. But then what happens is everybody there is on LexaPro. And then they're incapable of just like having normal conversations. Like I remember I was talking to this girl and what I thought was a two-way conversation was just very much a one-way, but it's not that she was disinterested. Like she was making very intense eye contact with me, but
No, she full on, you asked her a question, she looked at you, registered the question, and then just kept speaking. And I almost lost my shit. I was going to laugh so hard. I had to like pretend to cough. Whenever I need to laugh, I always pretend I'm sneezing or coughing.
I do.
This happens too many times on our Zoom calls.
No, and the thing is, like, this girl was so nice. She wasn't trying to be dismissive. She wasn't trying to be rude. But it's just like, the lights were on. Nobody was home. But I think it's the whole, like, the anticipation of anxiety makes people take the LexaPro, and then everyone is just kind of like a little bit like numbed, and it makes it more awkward.
Okay, but here's my counter to that, which is like, yeah, there were some girls who were there solo, and I totally get that. I have sympathy for that. But there were plenty of girls who were there with like a buddy or a pal, but still kind of like no one's home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, let's just take it back for a sec. So what was the point of this event, right? It was a brand that invited people to this beautiful, beautiful home to celebrate the launch of a product. I don't know. It's weird getting a group of like 100 plus beautiful women together and not really having like an agenda for things or people to talk about. It's just kind of like an open-ended mixer, right? But there was no way for like, unless you're really outgoing and you're going to go up to someone and say hi, like it can be tricky.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest critique for a lot of these like beauty product events, like beauty events in general, period, or just like brand events, in particular, like my biggest criticism is that what's the actual point of it? Like I know it's to create quote unquote buzz to launch a product or a service or a store, but outside of that, people are just decoration.
So I know the point because I've thought about this. So when you look at an influencer, right, like nothing is free with them. Maybe they come to the event for free, but when a brand works with an influencer, they'll give them their rates. So this is how much a reel costs. This is how much a post costs. This is how much a story costs. For some of these girls, posting a story, it's like $500, right? So in the brand's mind, if I throw this nice party and they all come and maybe they'll post one or two stories, I'm making $500 per story is kind of how they may think of it. So I don't know if they're putting that much attention onto like, what are they going to do at this event? Because they know they're going to be taking pictures.
Yeah. No, that's fair. So it's like, okay, obviously for the brand, they're getting that social promotion and that's how they're justifying the cost. I would say that like for the people who are there, is it just to be like seen? That's what I always wonder. It's like what, or maybe because they're getting free product, what they show up. It's so funny to me, this dynamic.
So I think it's to be seen and to kind of, be in because they're not networking, right?
No.
They're like, people were not networking at this thing. They're not meeting new friends. They definitely go take their photos. If they do get a plus one, it's usually the plus one taking photos of them and vice versa. And they post a photo, tag the other brand of the dress that they're wearing and, call it a night.
I find this all so crazy because it's like, okay, when I was in my 20s, like I went out a lot, either to a bar to go like hang out with friends or to a club or to a party or like a gallery opening, those kind of things, right? And I was looking across the room at a lot of these women and they're, like you said, all gorgeous, a lot of them very young, a lot of them in their 20s. It seems like to me going out, quote unquote, going out now is like going out to like an event like this where you're just trying to get seen and it doesn't necessarily feel fun. Like I had fun because I was with you and we were bantering and like we're just hilarious together every single time.
We did have a good time.
We had a great time. But like I'm thinking to myself like, so this is what people do to go out now is just to kind of get seen at these like influencer events or product or brand events. And I'm like, that seems less fun.
So I think that's kind of a problem with a lot of these people that make money from going out, right? Like these influencers, like, you know, when they go out and they take a cute photo with their outfit, like, yes, it could be like a Friday night with their girlfriends, but they're also going to be making money when they post that photo. So I think when like you didn't have that when you were going out, you weren't like, oh, I got to photograph these shoes so I can send it to the brand so they can give me a link to swipe up. Like you weren't thinking that way. And I think that's also why like you could just actually have a good time because there's not so many variables in place and you don't have to worry about like if someone catches you like picking your nose and they film you and then they post it and then it goes viral. Like I think it's like the social media component that freaks people out a little bit.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And makes them nervous.
Totally. Because I'm also thinking about like when I used to go out as a kid, like in high school and in college, like being seen was still important, right? Like being seen at the right clubs, at the right like restaurants. That was always part of the Zeitgeist. I feel like what you're saying is like now, obviously, it's like a lot of people who are making money off of this stuff. There's that added layer of like, okay, how am I making my bread? Which makes sense. But like, I don't know, going out is like a fun thing to me. And I feel like now it seems like a chore, not a chore, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's just not as, it doesn't seem as fun, honestly.
I think that's my whole problem with social media. Cause like back in the day, like I know I was a really late adopter, even to Instagram. I didn't get it until my senior year of college. Cause
that's late.
I refused to give up my BlackBerry. And there was no Instagram on Blackberries. Yeah. And then I finally got it. But like, you know, when I was going out freshman, sophomore, junior year, I just had a digital camera and would like, you know, take my photos, have a lot of fun, be partying and like running around and not super worried about those things. But nowadays, those digital cameras are back and these girls carry the things where they can upload the photos directly to their phone so they can still post them in real time.
Wait, is that what people do now?
Yes. I was watching these like little influencers like, let's pack my bag to go out for a night in Soho. And they pack the little converters and then
shut the fuck up.
And then they're like in the bar, like uploading and face tuning their photos like directly from their Canon 360s. And
yeah, that's a throwback.
I know, but deep cut throwback. Yeah. That's what they're using.
Wow.
I know. But yeah, so like that's what they do. So like I felt like that using a digital camera protected me to make sure I had a good time and could take my photos and reminisce on them later. But now it's like, no, it's part of the steps to be seen.
So I think I downloaded Instagram probably freshman year of college. And I think the difference was between like me being on Instagram at like 18 versus now 18-year-olds. Like I used to just upload the most random shit. I would just take a picture of anything and just upload it. Like I wouldn't think twice, right? It's just kind of like, hi, this is what I'm doing. Oh, okay. This is the makeup I'm wearing. Oh, this is the outfit I'm wearing. This is like where I'm going out. And then now it's so curated. So these girls are way more hyper aware of what they're posting, which is crazy.
But that's when TikTok comes into play.
Oh, you're right.
Because like everyone always says that like TikTok is that freedom of not having to be curated, post 5 times a day, post your train of thought or whatever. And then the Instagram is like your curated version of yourself. So even when you look at like some mega influencers, they're not posting the same stuff as they do on TikTok as they do Instagram. Instagram is always like the final shot. You know, like the photoshopped version or whatever. And TikTok's the, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So like Instagram is like your portfolio and TikTok is just like chaos.
Yeah. TikTok is your notes app.
Yeah. Which my notes app is chaos.
I know. That's why I said it.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people keep trying to tell me that Instagram is dead, but like then I look at them and I'm like, you still use Instagram. So I don't think it's that dead.
I don't think it's dead.
I don't think it's dead either.
Yeah. And I think TikTok is just so different. Like one thing that's interesting to me about TikTok is even the way you see like luxury designer brands going and presenting on TikTok, right? Like have you ever looked at Loewe's TikTok?
No, but I actually just love their branding. They're so fun.
You know, they're still like a very, very high-end brand, right? But their TikToks are so fun and playful, right? Like they had one where they partnered with this guy who's just like obsessed with candles, right? And just like burns candles on top of candles and has this like giant melted candle bubble. But like, why is Loewe partnering with them on TikTok?
It kind of makes sense to me though, because Loewe is like a really fun, playful brand. Like they have like those fun little animals motifs that are tied into like all their clothes. It kind of makes sense somehow.
But that they're crushing TikTok?
Like that they're being so playful on TikTok.
For sure. Because I feel like other brands like a Dior, they basically post the same advertisements that, that you see on YouTube or, that you see on your TV, and they just make it and crop it in a version for TikTok. But like other brands like Loewe, they really have fun with it.
Here's my thing about posting on TikTok is like, I see what videos get really popular, and they're the ones that feel like, oh, I just happen to take a video like right now as I'm laying in bed from like the chin up angle, which I find hilarious. Like, why is everything from the chin up? But like, I don't know how quote unquote organic some of those are. I think what people really love on TikTok is something that feels like, I just decided to film this right now. I'm in my bed, or like I'm just in my car and I'm just like casually doing this, but nothing ever feels like that casual. Does that make sense?
I feel like not anymore, at least. I feel like maybe TikTok in 2020, people were being that kind of open. But now, I don't know, the world corrects itself and then all the authenticity is gone again.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that app, was it Be Real?
Be Real.
Be Real. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea if people are still using that.
I don't think
so. But that was fun for a minute.
Yeah. I like downloaded it and then I struggled actually using it. And I was like, okay, maybe this is for...
Well, every time I got my reminder, I was always doing something super, super lame. Like I was like at work and I'm like,
be real, Julia.
I'm like, well, I don't want to just show people that I'm working and that I'm looking at a computer screen. Yeah. Like, leave me alone. Let me work.
Don't remind me.
Exactly. Anyway, so like what other events have we been going to lately?
We went to the K-Beauty Harper's Bazaar event.
That's right.
Yeah. And then that same day, there was another event going on that we ran into some friends who were going to the other one. It was like, I think it was called like Muskat.
I think so. It was like, but that's a permanent store, not a pop-up event.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it was like the opening for that. And it was so funny because like we walked past the Muskat store. I'm like, oh, they have literally the same products across the street at that other K-Beauty pop-up. But like, even before we get into that, like Sasa, how crazy it is that we now go to these things.
Bro, I know.
On like a weekly basis. Like, who are we?
It's like we go from our day jobs, which are like serious day jobs, and then we're like, oh, I guess we're going to an influencer event.
I know. Like, it's so funny. Like when I come home and like my husband asks me like, what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to an event with Harper's Bazaar. He'll be like, have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Andrew will be like, oh, what's the event you're going to tonight? And I'll be like, truly, babe, like, trust me, you're not going to be into it. And he's like, no, tell me. And I'm like, a beauty brand is launching a product. They invited us as GlowJob. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I'm not into it.
No, but the thing is that it was interesting to me is that like, I think growing up, I always felt like I would never go to these events because I don't work in the industry. And we've done GlowJob now for just like 4 months?
Yeah, almost 5. Yeah.
I never thought that we would be the ones getting the PR packages and going to these events. But how fun.
I know, it's so fun.
Go us.
I know, it's so, go us. Go GlowJob.
Go GlowJob.
But the like timing of the 2K beauty events to me isn't just serendipitous. Like I think this is like, obviously it's planned, but like Olive Young is supposed to open up their first US store this summer. I think in Los Angeles too.
Yes, I feel like all of the Korean chaebols who have their hands in beauty all are getting into these meetings and saying, this is when we're taking over America.
I think so. I honestly feel like everyone's conspiring and it's going to be the summer of K-Beauty, which is like obviously a long time leading up to this. But I feel like the folks at Sephora are shaken in their damn boots.
That's why they got Haley on. They're like, we need to bring in the big hitters. Like Olive Young is coming.
No, truly. Actually, I bet you that's a big part of their thinking.
Right? It's like a long-term, like it's like a big thing that's happening with Olive Young coming in. Because prior to this, like, and this wasn't even an Olive Young event. It's a Harper's Bazaar event for Korea. But basically, it's all the same brands and it's all the same companies, but it's one collective effort from all of these separate companies. And some are big and dozens of years old, and some are young and newcomers to the scene, but they're all like collectively coming together saying like, we want to go after this US market.
And even us as GlowJob, like we've had people reach out to us, particularly like K-beauty brands or K-beauty consultants who like, they reach out to us and say, hey, this brand or like us as the brand are trying to reach the US demographic and we need some help entering that market. Like, can we work with you guys? And I think we've been seeing that more and more. The other thing that we learned like over time about like talking to a lot of these K-beauty brands and like not even just K-beauty, like Asian beauty in general, right? It's not just limited to Korea. These brands will often have a different product line for their domestic country versus the US market.
Because they have to.
Yeah.
100%. They have to reformulate. I think the classic one is like sunscreen, right?
But it's not just sunscreen. So like even the way that they market things, like, because obviously in Asia, it's going to be like a brightening serum.
A whitening cream.
Yes, exactly. And like, who the hell in America is going to buy a whitening cream? Hell no, right? They had to redo the copy, but they also have to like make products that fit an American and not necessarily like an Asian.
Oh, that makes sense. And they're ready to do it. It was TirTir, the cushion compact company, right? They did such a good job of reintroducing themselves into the American market. Because when they first launched, like obviously they have like 5 shades and they're all like shades of white. And then, you know, everyone, it's starting to get a little bit of buzz and now they're launching in like 40 different shades.
40?
I think it's like 40. I know it's more than 20. I don't know the exact number, but it's a lot. And they're working with creators of all different colors to really just make sure that they can nail it and do it right, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, totally.
They have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Yeah. But which brands are at this pop-up?
So I'm thinking there was a Muse, which had that really cute little like lippy keychain thing.
Yes, they were really cute. D'Alba was there. Perito was there. But these ones like weren't that surprising because they're so big. Like Manio was there. But there are also some like cute little brands like Essence Herb.
Wait, okay. We met those guys. They were so sweet. Two friends who started a skincare line and they totally rebranded all their packaging. It looks really nice.
Okay, so I don't know if they started it or maybe they like bought it and are giving it a zhuzh. They were just like so earnest and so kind and like really just believed in their products.
I know. And they were trying to get feedback and stuff, which I think is sweet.
But the event in general was like kind of like the other one where they just like invite a bunch of influencers, promise them some product, and then just, again, hope and pray that people take photos and post.
Yeah, see, this is my problem is like they all feel so chaotic. I'm like, yo, I could do this in my sleep. Maybe this is like me being overconfident, but like, yeah, you just like throw product at people, ask them to take some pictures, and that's it. Like the one thing that people were lining up for at this event was a photo booth.
It's so wild. But here's another thing. Like when you think about influencers and how they're charging these brands to make money, a lot of times influencers, if a brand reaches out and say, I would love to send you some product for free, they're going to say no. They're going to say, you have to pay me or else I'm not going to touch your product. But when they have these events, they want to come because then they get photographed. And like, even though they're getting the same exact, if not fewer free gifts, right? Like they at least get something for their feed that makes them look cool. Cause I feel like, you know, creating a UGC of like whatever cream is a lot less exciting than going to an event.
I see. So this is multi-layered.
Yes.
We are thinking deep, analytical.
I know. That's what GlowJob is for though, right? like peeling back the curtain a little bit. Yeah.
I think it's just so funny how motivated people can be to show up for free product. And
oh my God, but you remember those like road pop-ups?
Yeah. But
or that Patrick Ta pop-up.
Oh bro, that Patrick Ta pop-up was insane. But they're going because they love the founder so much, right? Like there's a little bit of that too.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they just want the stuff.
You think so?
They just want the stuff. They like the hype. They want the experience. They want to post it on the page, right? Like, so whether they're invited or whether they're waiting in line for a pop-up, they're just like willing to go out of their way for these events. So with all this being said, like, why do we go to these events?
Honestly, like, I don't know about you, but for me, I like knowing what's going on in the culture and the zeitgeist. Like I treat everything like an anthropological experience.
Oh, 100%. It's like research.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think it's interesting to me to see how different brands do things, what they invest in, how they communicate to the people coming to these events, you know, how they advertise these events, what the follow-up is after. Like you learn so much about how companies just like run a business because these are business events for them, right?
Totally.
These are expenses.
Yeah. But not even just like the companies. I think what I also find fascinating is like the actual people who are showing up, right? Whether it be the influencer or just like the average consumer and like what makes them like one thing over another or like, why are you so into Rhode or so into Rare, but not into XYZ? That to me, I find fascinating in the same way that I find reality TV fascinating because it's just like watching people and I'm like, oh, this is how you behave in the real world.
No, at some of these events, I straight up feel like I'm on an episode of like whatever reality TV show, like a housewives show, maybe perhaps. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I still enjoy going to these.
Oh, same. They're so much fun.
Yeah, I find them also like, yes, there also is like an educational component. Do all of the guests take advantage of that educational component? I don't know. But like all these brands, you know, they have multiple people trained on how to talk to the products, how to tell them how to use the products, all the fun like stuff and work that went into these products. But you know, those they usually have like a little corner where they put that person, right? And that's usually like the empty corner. Yeah.
Or they hang out by themselves and no one comes up to them because they're not getting free stuff or getting a picture. So why would they go there?
Oh my gosh.
But like, you know, also like we're beauty junkies, right? So it's just kind of fun. I genuinely find beauty fun.
Me too.
Even if we're shit talking or we're praising or we're learning, it's just fun.
Yeah, I mean, just because we shit talk these events doesn't mean that I don't want to go to these events. These are just our observations at these events.
Yeah, totally. But like, I think that's why like we did that girl dinner with a couple people from the beauty industry and we got such good reception because people were like, oh my God, I can actually have a conversation with somebody here versus a lot of the industry events I go to. And like, everyone's just like standing in a corner with a drink on their phone.
Now I know why.
Yeah, I get it.
When they first gave us that feedback from our party, and it was like, 12 people? We were just like, oh, okay, that's nice. But now that we've been to these events that are exactly how they described, we're like, oh, shit. Like, I see why some of these are, you know, tough.
Yeah, really tough. So after that K-beauty event, we stepped into Violet Grey just to like kill some time before we had to head out. And we ran into some friends, right?
Yeah.
But like when we were in the store, they were ogling this perfume. And I was like, okay, what's this obsession with the perfume? And they told us that it's the perfume that retails for $1,100. And I literally thought she said, like, I don't know why. My brain just wasn't computing it. So I thought she said $110 in my head. Like, I couldn't rationalize that. And I was like, oh, that's not that bad. No, she was like, $1,100. And I was like, oh shit, $1,100 for a perfume?
You know, we tried it. We smelled it. It smelled nice, nothing crazy. And it's also, just so you guys know, it is the perfume that Violet Grey makes, right? So it's like the brand's perfume. And it comes in like a nice glass bottle. The smell is nice, but honestly, I don't know. I know my nose is not like crazy good, but it didn't smell like $1,100.
Part of me thinks like the absurd price is part of like the marketing gimmick, right? It's like to make people talk about it. And clearly we're talking about it, so it's working. But like, I don't know. I feel like even expensive perfume is usually what? Like $300, $400, $500 max. And I still think that's insane.
For sure. And I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like the average person can probably discern between like a $200 perfume and like a Bath and Body spray. But like when it comes to like that really like luxury price point of like, let's go with Byredo, right? They're like $300. Like that versus over 4 times that amount at $1,100. Because it's not like it was a jumbo size perfume. It was a normal size perfume.
Normal size.
But I don't know. I think, you know, if you make it and if you price it, people will buy it.
Will they? Or will people just not buy it and just talk about it? Because that's the risk too.
Someone's going to buy it. And at that price point, you probably only have to sell not that many, like 20 to like make your investment back.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like what's the most you would spend on a makeup product? Let's just break it down. Let's just start with like a foundation.
A foundation?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I don't know. The most? Probably like $80. And that feels like a lot to me.
I mean, that's way more expensive than the majority of foundations at Sephora, but they make more expensive ones.
Well, actually, so this is the reason why I said $80 is because like, I feel like when I go to Sephora, most foundations are in that $70 to $80 range. And I'm like, what the that's so expensive.
It's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
But there are more expensive ones. Like my mother, the fabulous woman that she is, she uses a Clé de Peau foundation.
Oh, that shit's expensive.
It's like $300 for like the La Mer foundation. And she just like, you know, she uses it every single day.
Good
like,
for her.
You know, I guess as you should, right? Yeah. But like people will buy it.
True. That's
right.
true.
So it's like that. But then there's also that people that, you know, they won't spend more than $20 and just stick to drugstore.
Yeah.
But you want to know something interesting?
Yeah.
So way back when, before my husband and I got married, we were just like in that cutesy little dating phase. There's this like New York Times compatibility test.
Oh, I know this one. Yeah.
And it's like 16 questions. Look it up. It's really fun. But one of the questions is like, how much would you spend on a car, a couch, couch and like a pair of shoes or like something like that. But it's all to get in the mindset of like, where do your values lie for like how much you're willing to spend on something? And like some people will just spend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like with me and Andrew, I remember, obviously I love clothes. And I was talking about like, I was wearing a coat and he was like, oh, this is such a cool coat. And I was like, thank you. I love this coat too. And I don't know how, but the price of the coat came up and it was like, it's a $3,000 coat, but it's like sheepskin, you know, it's not like a cheap coat.
Yeah.
And his jaw dropped and he was like, you would spend that much money on a coat?
Hell yeah.
Right? Exactly. I was like, yeah, I get to wear this like every year, every season, blah, blah, blah.
For the rest of your life.
Rest of my life. Exactly. And he was just like, that's so crazy. That's so absurd. And then like we went on a trip together and we're like looking at hotels and like the hotels he's looking at are like, you are telling me I spend too much money on a coat, but you very easily will like spend thousands of dollars a night on a hotel that you only get to stay at for that one time. Like my coat gets to stay with me forever.
No, that's such a thing. And you see it all the time, like especially in LA. And yes, I am calling you LA people out, but you have so many people that drive like the newest Mercedes. Like they'll be driving a freaking G-Wagon. And then, you know, they rent an apartment, you know, and it's just kind of like, there's nothing wrong with renting an apartment. We rent, you know, but it's also like, we're not driving G-Wagons, right? Like, I think it just kind of ties back into like where, like what you value, or like people that fly, coach with a Birkin bag. You know what I mean? It's like, where do your values lie and kind of where do you place importance on money?
So I kind of get the flying coach with the Birkin bag, maybe because like this is the girl math I do in my head sometimes. I'm like, okay, like there are places where I'm willing to spend more money and things I need to like save at so I can like reach the goals of things I want to buy, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, like I know I want the Prada shoes. I want the Prada shoes this month. Okay, so like this month, maybe I won't spend so much money on something else so I can kind of like justify that purchase. Like that's the girl math I do.
I mean, girl math has saved lives, no doubt, right? But like, I don't know. When I was in college, I used to take it like way too far.
Yeah.
I would like buy the Prada shoes, but then I would eat like ramen, you know, like for weeks, right?
Okay, I can't do that.
Yeah. So I would like take it a little too far. And then, you know, I would just like sit in my little studio apartment, enjoying my ramen, wearing my freaking shoes and being like, this is a good idea.
That's a Carrie Bradshaw moment.
I know, but like Carrie's the worst character.
Who's your favorite Sex and the City character?
Samantha.
Oh yeah, Samantha's the best.
Samantha's the best. So can we rank them?
Yeah, let's rank them.
Okay. For me, it's Samantha, Charlotte, Miranda, Carrie.
Interesting. Okay. So I think I would swap Charlotte. Actually, no, hold on. Here's the thing. I love and hate Carrie at the same time.
I hate.
You hate?
So annoying.
Okay, so I find Charlotte endlessly annoying.
Really?
Yeah, I find her really annoying. Sometimes she's charming, but like 80% of the time I find her, I'm like, I want to bitch slap Charlotte and be like, grow the fuck up. Like, get over yourself.
So I always want to bitch slap Miranda.
Oh, Miranda. Oh, I could see that.
Because I just hate Steve.
Yeah, Steve is bad.
He's just like such a loser.
But I gotta say, they always gave Miranda the shit end of the like story. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the storyline. She always gets like such a shitty storyline. I'm like, the poor woman. Come on.
I know.
Give her a bone. Throw her a bone.
I know. That's why I love Samantha.
Yeah, I love Samantha too. You know, I actually met Samantha once. Like, not the real
Kim
Samantha.
Cattrall.
Kim Cattrall. I met her once at a MoMA dinner. A friend of mine, her mom owns a pretty big gallery, and she brought me to this dinner. And like at the time, Kim Cattrall was having kind of like a well-known affair with the curator of MoMA. And she spoke fluent German. And the curator was German. I thought this was a very charming like trait about her. And she was so sweet and polite. Like just so nice.
That is so interesting.
Yeah. But she like spoke good German. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Who'd have thunk? I never knew that.
Girl, same. All I kept thinking in my head was like, this is Samantha. Samantha is talking to me in German. Like, I don't know what she's saying, but
it's so funny.
yeah, I know.
More reasons to love her. You know, I wonder what like Gen Z's version of Sex and the City is going to be. Because I'm so sad for them that they don't have a show like this.
You know, I was rewatching Sex and the City the other day, and like, I think it still holds. Like, I forgot what episode I was watching, but it must.
Some don't.
Okay, some don't, for sure. Some of them don't. But like, it's like Carrie is like typing and she's talking about like how like dating has changed now. And like, cause like the advent of like, you know, online dating or something like that had just happened. I would say her analysis of like the culture at that time, a lot of that stuff is still really relevant today. For a show that was made in like the 80s, 90s, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And for me, like I didn't start watching it until I was like after college.
Oh, really?
Like I didn't watch it when I was younger. I didn't watch but I don't know. Is there a version for Gen Z or can they just watch Sex and the City? I feel like they deserve their own.
You think so? I don't know. I feel like all the shows kind of, maybe this is just like dating myself. Like they all kind of suck. Actually, wait, there's a TV show on HBO. It's called like The Real Life of College Girls or something like that.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I watched a couple of that one.
It's like cute.
It may be. But like, I don't know. For me, I think maybe it's harder to find a show because there are so many shows.
That's true.
Like back in the day, like, I don't know, there weren't as many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had like 5 to pick from.
Yeah.
Okay, but going back to how much you would spend. Like
way back. That was a tangent.
way back. Took a hard left turn. But how much would you spend on like a foundation product?
I'd spend $200.
$200?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know. I really like makeup and
That's
I
true.
really like skin. I'd easily spend $200 on skincare, right? $200.
$200 on foundation. Okay. So like, how about a moisturizer then?
$200.
Serum?
$200.
Toner?
Toner cleanser. Like that's where I get into like a little bit of like an iffy territory, but
Max
like 40.
Okay. Max 40.
Yeah. Cause the thing is,
Girl, that's a big difference. 40 and 200?
I know, but like 40, you can get a really nice cleanser.
That's true.
Right. But for me, it's like foundation is you really see a difference with a good foundation and what it can do and kind of transform how you look. You really see a big difference in a serum. You see you can see not as big of a difference with the moisturizer, but like a pretty good difference with the moisturizer.
I think I'm on the same page with you for toner cleanser. Probably like 45, maybe I'd go like just 45, 50 is like the max I think I'd ever spend on that.
But at the same time, like I'd still use drugstore.
No, same, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm saying just like highest end I would go.
Like a treat yourself.
Yeah. So like something fun, flirty and fun. Serum, ooh, this one gets hard for me. $200
So I
feels
go
like
higher.
you would go higher than
I think I
200?
could go higher.
Really?
I don't know. There's just like some, like, I don't know. Like sometimes I just want to be that girl who buys La Prairie. You know what I mean? And like that kind of echelon.
Yeah.
Not even a tier. It's an echelon, right?
Okay, so then you're kind of treating it almost like a luxury product, like a handbag, a pair of shoes, like that. And like, which totally, by the way, like I'm here for all that. The only thing is that then when I'm like looking at skincare like that, I'm like, what actually makes this product worth $200? Is it the branding or is it the ingredients? And like you and I both know ingredients.
It's the branding.
I know.
We both know. It's the branding.
Okay, so the branding's getting to you.
Yeah.
I will say. So I saw a lipstick by Dries Van Noten. And like, I love Dries. I love their clothes. And the lipstick's like $100. But it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And I just kept hovering over that link for like 2 weeks, being like, am I going to buy this $100 lipstick just because the bottle is pretty? They almost had me, Jules. They almost did.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to have like that one nice item, right? And that's why a lot of the times it is coming from brands that have like luxury other goods that are like way more expensive, right? Like what else can you buy at Dries for $100? One sock, right? Like
that.
I know. So no, it's nice. I don't know. Am I going to do it all the time? Not currently, like not at this tax bracket, but like maybe the next one.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. So Jules, what are you going to do this weekend?
So this weekend I have a Midsommar party.
What?
Midsommar.
Oh, is this like a Nordic thing?
It's like a Nordic thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why all of Gautam's friends are freaking Norwegian, but you know, we're going to a Midsommar party.
Cute.
And then I have a wedding in Beverly Hills.
Oh, you have a wedding.
Yes. It'll be fun. A Persian wedding.
Oh, cute.
Really nice. There's like super bougie. Like Persian weddings are so fun.
Really?
Yeah. Like, you know, they want you to dress up as much as possible. That's like try to outdress the bride kind of vibe, right? Like good luck. And I don't know, they're just like, everyone just looks fabulous. And I'm really kind of like into that opulence when it comes to being a wedding guest. For me, it's so fun. Because when else do you like wear that thing in the back of your closet, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Balls to the
wedding.
walls. Yeah. I love
What
that.
are you doing this weekend?
It's kind of a low-key weekend because the following weekend I'm flying back to New York to see my family. But this Saturday, a friend's gallery is opening, or like they're having like a new artist showing. So we're going to go to that on Saturday. And then Sunday is kind of like a chill day for me. I'm gonna,
Perfect.
just get my life in order before I go back to New York.
Oh, I'm going to miss you, Sasa.
I miss you too. Do you want to come to New York with me?
Just take me with you.
Okay. Yeah. I can put you in my suitcase. Pack you in. See you next week.
See you next week. Same time.
Same time. All right. Bye.
Bye.